Okay, so now a program has one default constructor. Now keep in mind, can you write a class without a constructor? Yes. Should you write a class without a constructor? No. It's not considered good programming practice. So now what we're going to talk about are constructors with parameters. So this is a default constructor. It does not have any parameters, but sometimes you might like to declare an object and give its data members an initial value at the same time. So I'm going to create a second constructor. So keep in mind, it's just an overloaded function, right? Same function name as the first one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow the user to pass a value in when they declare the object. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to add this function. Okay. Now notice that this constructor with the parameter and the set radius function look exactly the same. In fact, some people might actually call the set radius function inside of this. If you wanted to, it'll do the same thing. You don't have to. But they're done at different times. Like this is done when the object is declared, and this could be done later on in your program after your object was already declared, and so let's say you want to set the radius to something new. So you really do need both of those functions, even though they kind of have the same code in them. Okay? So what this allows us to do is now also declare an object and pass it initial value. Like in this case, I'll pass in 5. And let me just show you. And I'll call C2 here. Okay. So I'm going to run this. Alright, there you go. Okay. Now, let me just again, I'm going to show you, I'm going to go into the debugger and kind of just step into this program one line at a time. And show you the compiler can figure out which constructor to call. So note the yellow arrow, this is where I am now. And I'm going to, see this calls the one with no parameters. And this one, circle C2, calls the one with one parameter. That's how overloaded functions work. The compiler can figure out which one to call based on the parameter list. And keep in mind, these functions also can be written inline if you want them to be. Sorry, I'm kind of like messing around with my tabs here. Oh, I'll fix that after. Okay. They can be written inline if you want them to be. So, you know, here, if I wanted to, I could, instead of writing the function down below, I could just say radius is assigned the value of 1. I think that was my default value, right? And here I could say radius is assigned the value of r. Like this. And you know, so I can define them inline if I want to, and then I could come down here and I wouldn't need to have the code down here. So that's just an alternate you know, type of implementation. When you guys start to work on this yourself, you'll kind of find out what your personal preference might be. And again, this is going to run the same way. Right, no change in the way it runs.